Hello and welcome. My name's Rham. Welcome to this YouTube channel. I'm sharing 2 times a week, every Monday and every Thursday. And welcome to the 12th class of our Beginners Module A. It's the last class. I've posted all the links to the previous classes below. And I do recommend starting from the beginning if you want to get the most out of the pedagogical details and the evolving of structure and its understanding of that. But right now we're in the 12th class and everyone who's here really deserves to be congratulated. It's a journey to take this on board and to commit to the regular practice of it and to grow with it. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the yogi's notion that inherently all people, all sentient beings, I should say, not just people, are good, that there's a flame of goodness within us. And that what's obstructing that goodness, mental programmings, beliefs, all of that, and that's just blocking the light from shining out. So every time that we practice, there's this process of purification. We're harnessing the mind through the details of alignments and structure, giving it a chance to ease away from its normal chatter, creating space for the light to shine out. And equally, on a physical level, as we start to directionalize our body and examine movement and how we can adjust and align so that it's more structurally, positively enhancing, the body remembers, the cells remember, they have their own intelligence that gets ignited, and this remembrance comes out and they will meet you from inside. So in the beginning you may have to think about really rolling the shoulders back all the time to the point of irritation. But of course, it feels so great when we do it. And as we practice, the body is going to start trusting that you are committed to this journey. And it wants, for instance, for the sternum to be open, for energy to be lifting up there. And once it knows that you're really committed to the practice, it's going to meet you halfway from inside. And it's going to start doing adjustments for you. And so this dialogue gets created that's very special, very magical, and we begin to trust our bodies again. So this is the 12th class. I want to leave you with something that you can practice over and over again. Not too much talking. We've done a lot of talking in the last 11 classes. You've assimilated a lot of details. You can always go backwards to re-study things. But this is an imprint that I want to really have you feel spacious in so that you can start to make your own awarenesses and ignition processes within the practice. And eventually there'll be a course B and a course C, but this class has to get you through until then, has to provide a satisfying place for that growth to happen in. So with all of that in mind, let's gather our yoga kit. Again, yoga kit is individualized to the vehicle's needs. Some of you may need blocks or even chairs. Some of you may not need anything but the blankets and the straps required. Either way, gather them all around and let's come start at the front of our mat in Tadasana. So by now, Tadasana is becoming more and more, each time we do it, a cleaner, sharper, deeper portal into the space of our practice. We're entering into another world, feeling the feet pressing down, the legs firm, the shoulders rolling back, and that vibrancy starting to come to the chest. Let's start with simplified Vrikshasana. And inhale and lifting up, linking from the earth to the sky, from the sky to the earth, stretching and lengthening. Literally bringing in pranic sunlight with each inhale, with each exhale, releasing that which we no longer need. A cleansing process. And exhale halfway down. Change the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms out. And inhale up. And each time we become sharper and more alert and more awake. Feel the heels firm, feel the front thighs lifting. Stretch the armpits, stretch the arms. And exhale, releasing down. Already another state of mind. Hanging Uttanasana, taking what you need. Chairs, blocks, turn the toes in, the heels out. Inhale the arms up. Take hold of the elbows, elbow tips back. And exhaling forward, hanging Uttanasana. Starting from the base of the pose always, so the feet, their connection to the planet. Think of the legs as trunks or stems. And as we push down, roots into the planet, we draw energy up like sap. And we lift the muscles with that action with an anti-gravitational liftingness that comes into the hips, and we widen the buttocks apart, bringing new inner broadness as we pull the elbows down. And then hands to the mat, spreading the fingers, stepping the feet back, having a nice distance between the hands and the feet, pushing the front thighs back, lifting the sit bones up, stretching the arms and gently unfolding the neck, the head, counting the breath. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Walking feet forward. Changing the cross of the elbows, hanging Uttanasana. Keep the eyes open and look at the feet, having that outer drishti to connect. Pressing down, earthing down, and rising upwards through the legs, widening the sit bones. With an exhale, pulling the elbow tips towards the ground. And then gently releasing and coming up. Utthita Trikonasana. Starting from Tadasana, alert, clear energy, even. Preparing and jumping the left and right side, even energetic distribution. Turning and setting ourselves up for the right. Finding our alignments, lifting the inner walls of the sternum. Inhale. Exhale, reaching to the right, really reaching, pushing that right buttock bone in as we come down. And then traveling through the body, connecting, adjusting, reasserting presence, extending our intelligence everywhere. And pressing the shoulder blades forward to open the chest. And 2, and 1. Inhaling up. Think radiating like a star, light going everywhere, shining out beyond the confines of the skin as we turn to the left, checking our structure. Inhale, inner walls of the sternum lifting. Exhale to the left, really reaching, 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 and then coming down. Take a moment to stabilize and scan the body from inside, from outside, adjusting, firming, engaging, and then press the shoulder blades forward to open the chest. And 2, and 1. Inhaling up and jumping the feet together. Virabhadrasana 2. And each time, extending our energy more and more beyond the barriers of the skin that we tend to contain ourselves in. Think of the parts that we can't see, extending out. Turning to the right, lining things up, holding that expansion within good structure, good awareness. Inhale and exhale, beginning to make a square with that leg. Keep radiating out through the back body. Come down as deeply as you can. And even though we're looking over the front arm, we have eyes out of the back of our heads, extending that energy back. And 3, and 2, and 1. Inhaling up, and exhaling to the left. Feeling our precision, the chest open to this experience. Inhale, and exhale. Begin to make a square with that front leg, keeping that energy charging out the back body so that it's even front and back. Coming down as low as we can. We're looking over the front, but we have eyes out of the back of the skull, keeping that integrity there. And 3, and 2, a holistic movement in all directions. And 1, inhaling up, turning the feet in, and Tadasana. Trikonasana. And exhale, jump. Coming to the right. Each pose leading to the next, so the body is ready to come into this. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale, stage 1. Making all of the adjustments of stage 1 that we know so well now. Then turning the top on. Full pose, stage 2. Finding our breath. And then splitting the waist with each exhale. And allowing the head to relax back. Letting the body unfurl towards the light. And 2. And 1. Inhaling up. Alertness, vibrancy. Turning to the left. Inhale, lift the sternum up, stretch the arms. And exhale. With attention, with intelligence everywhere. Inhale. And exhaling down. Stage 1 of the pose. Make the adjustments necessary to fully inhabit this stage, and then turn the top on, extend the arm over, full pose, Trikonasana. Find the breath again, stabilize, and now begin to split the waist with each exhale, turning and twisting. That's it, 3 and 2, feel your intelligence everywhere connecting, and 1, inhaling up. Turning the feet back in and jumping the feet together. Hanging Uttanasana. Stretch the arms up, feel the feet firm. Holding onto the elbows and exhaling forward. Abandon the head downwards, let the brain be soft. Release all tension. But keep the legs gripped, the sit bones widening, the elbows being pulled down. And now placing the hands on the mat and stepping back to Adho Mukha. Lift the heels, lift the buttocks, push the front thighs back, stretch the arms, and again drop the head down. Take the thinking out of it. Be in body intelligence, rich, smooth, deep breaths. And then walking forward, changing the cross of our hanging, and finding again hanging Uttanasana, dropping the head right down. Press into your feet. Have more sensitivity in that rising liftedness of the legs, the broadening of the inner hips through the sit bones, the anal mouth, and then bending the knees and slowly, gently rolling up and back to the long edge. Oops, this always happens. The long edge of the mat, Tadasana. Virabhadrasana 1, and jump. Stable. Turn those palms open. Inhale and lift the arms up beyond the confines of the semicircle and up to an ellipse, and press the palms together as if you were holding a block between them like we did last class. Turning to the right. Each action meaning something, not moving more than necessary. Make sure to move the tailbone forward, to lift the pubic bone up, and to pull the belly button back to the lower back as we stretch the arms. And then exhale, begin to bend that front knee into a lunge, turning the hips forward with each part of the lunge. We're grounding to the earth, through the legs. We're charging and lifting up to the sky through the arms. The organs are lifting up, the lungs are broadening, and 3, and 2, and 1. Coming back up, turning through the middle. Re-lift the arms, checking the feet, turning to the left. Send your awareness everywhere. Greater and greater expanses of awareness. Resting in that, noticing, charging. Now tailbone forward, pubic bone lifting. Belly button to the lower back and up. Stretch the arms, inhale. And with full vibrancy, exhaling, earthing, grounding down through the legs. Compact, deep, turning the hips. But internally lifting the organs up, stretching the arms up to the sky. Expanding more than we thought possible. And 3, and 2, and 1. Inhaling back up. Turning to the front. And exhaling. And jumping the feet together. Tadasana. We're coming to simplified Uttanasana now. And Parivrita Trikonasana. So if you need blocks for your hands, go ahead and put those into place. Right side first, then the left. And here we are. And jumping. Checking. Gripping. Lifting. These key words, right, that ignite. Hands in front, cross the thumbs. Inhale the arms up. Lift the organs up with that action. Inhale. Exhale, turning to the right. Adjust, connect, straighten the knees. Open the chest, inhale. And exhale, reach forward, being long and broad in every cell of the body as we adjust into the pose. Fingertips coming down, stage 1. Lifting the sternum, pressing the back ribs in. Stage 2, full pose. Using our eyes to connect. And then using our inner eyes, our inner drishti, to connect internally. Placing little pockets of intelligence through the body that learn to stay awake and ignite their own intelligence. Keep walking the hands forward. Deep breaths. And then preparing to lift with the inhale. Turning. And coming down. If you need to move your blocks, this is the time to do it. Checking our feet. Checking the integrity of the arches. Having this vision that the outer body is doing different things than the inner body. So here our organs are lifting upwards. Cross the thumbs and ride the wave of that lift. Express it. Inhale. And exhale, turning to the left. Inhale. And exhale, reaching forward. Feeling the lengthening, feeling the broadness. And coming down. Stage 1 of the pose. Making the adjustments. And then digging the back ribs in and opening the sternum. Moving it forward as much as possible. Legs still gripped, face calm. And then walking the hands forward. Stage 2 of the pose, simplified Uttanasana. Don't let the eyes close, staying awake, aware, watching everything at the same time. And then coming back, finding the breath, using the inhale to lift upwards so that movement expresses breath, turning back and exhaling and jumping the feet together. Okay, Parivrita Trikonasana coming up, so if you need a block, 1 block on each side of the mat, waiting for your hand there. Let's enter. Even energy. turning to the right. So right hand to the right outer hip. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale, reach forward, that same reaching action, coming down, and immediately we know to move the block in the hand back so that the forearm and the shin are connecting. We're going through the various stages we've learned, unfurling the body to the light until the arm is ready to stretch up. And then coming back to rest in the breath without pacifying the body, able to keep that strength and be with softness too. And 3, and 2, and 1. Hand back to the hip, inhaling up, and hands to the hips, elbows back, shoulders back, adjusting our feet if needed. Ready for the other side. Left hand to the left outer hip, inhale the right arm up, turn, exhale, reaching forward, and across and down, moving immediately, the hand and block back so the forearm and shin connect as we begin to turn into the pose. Starting, as we know so well, from the outer hip being pulled back, the elbow being rolled back, the shoulder being rolled back, until the arm wants to lift to the sky. Mindful, even breath within the construct of the outer discipline. Allow the breath to guide you. Allow the breath to help you hear the body more. Press the back ribs in, stretch the arms. And 2. And 1. Hand to the hip. Finding the beginning of your inhale and lifting up with it. And exhale, release. Tadasana. Full Uttanasana. So we're going to bring the hands behind us in an inverted namaskar and try to press those elbows back, those shoulders back. Start with the feet wide. Keep moving the elbows back, the shoulders back, and press the dorsal spine forward, right between the shoulder blades, so that the chest starts to open from inside, coming forward, turning to the right. Legs firm, knees firm. Offer the heart to the sky. Inhale. Exhale. Elbows back, leading with the sternum. Leading with that heart energy as we unfold down. Legs firm, hips turning, re-lift the elbows. Try to re-roll the front shoulders back. Grip the roots of the thighs. Allow the cleansing and energizing aspect of the breath to be fully present. And 2. And 1. Coming back up. Opening the heart again. Turning to the left-hand side. Reconnecting from the toes to the fingertips. Inhaling, heart open to the sky, and exhaling. Watching everything at the same time. That state of alert presence everywhere. Keep connecting the breath to the body. And 2. And 1. Bringing ourselves back up with the inhale. Moving to the front with the exhale. Whoops. And then releasing the hands. And jumping the feet together. Tadasana. Prasarita Padottanasana. Bending the knees and jumping. Hands to the hips. The muscles of the hips and the buttocks should feel strong underneath the fingertips. The legs too, pushing to the outside edges. elbows back, shoulders back, and opening that heart energy to the sky. Inhale. Exhale, leading with the sternum as we come down. Fingertips to the floor. Turn the heels out a little bit more. Lift the toes up, begin the feet even more. Digging the back ribs in. Inhale, look up. Keep the legs gripped, pushing the sit bones both back and spreading them apart. And from there, pushing into the fingertips to lengthen the front spine. And then exhaling to the second and the final part of the pose. Release the neck, release the head, soften the brain. Keep the legs gripped, the arms parallel. The breath fluid and smooth, nutritious breath. And now bringing the hands behind us, interlocking the fingers together, rolling those shoulders back, and bringing the arms down. Re-grip the legs, re-roll the thighs in to widen the buttocks apart. And draw the inhale into those areas of tightness, of darkness, of congestion. And then changing the interlock of the fingers. Make sure you're still lifting the inner arches and pushing into the outside edges of the feet. Keeping the base of the pose firm, connected, correct, so that correct movement flowers up through it. Relax the face completely. And then bring the arms back down to the ground in line with the heels, elbows parallel. From there, push, inhale, lift up, re-grip the legs, hands to the hips, elbows back, shoulders back, heart open, and then turn the heels in, the toes in, the heels in, the toes in, and come and be in Tadasana. One last hanging Uttanasana reset. We've got this little sliding problem here. I'm really into organisation, so it's got to just match up, otherwise it's a little bit askew. Turn the toes in, the heels out. Inhale the arms up. That's right, expose those parts that are still resisting being exposed. Lift them up, open them, breathe into them. And exhaling forward. Let go of the last tensions in the brain. And feel this new body intelligence, alive, awake. The flame flickering brightly. And hands to the mat, spreading the palms, spreading the fingers. Adho Mukha. The heels lifted, the toes lifted. And now the heels of the hands pressing down, but the fingertips lifting up. Stretching our arms, stretching our legs, buttocks lifting to the sky and completely relaxing the head, the brain, the neck. We want to move out of that cerebral state of thinkingness and tension and into the light of our own intelligence, our own cellular intelligence that's been waiting for us. And then walking the feet back in. Toes in, heels out. We may wish to just give a last little widening thrust to the buttocks and then hanging Uttanasana. Each breath cycle revealing more, sensitizing more. And then gently rolling up and finishing in Tadasana. Time for Vajrasana. So we're taking our 2 straps, our blankets, and setting ourselves up. Vajrasana on its own is also a great place for meditation. I mean, we are meditating in movement because we're using the adjustments and alignments within the movement to keep the mind harnessed and alert. Meditation is a state of alert noticing. It's not a sleepy state. But sometimes it's nice to sit and watch as well. And this is a very good pose to do it in. Vajrasana, Thunderbolt pose. Okay, so straps in. Getting more comfortable with our straps every time we use them. Tightening up, daring to be a little tighter. And then the blanket coming right in behind the backs of those knees. As we sit down, wherever we sit down, at the desk, at the dining room table, on the train, starting to just immediately reach for those sit bones and widen them apart. There's a way to be discreet about it, but the energetic upshot of that is so wonderful that it's worth fitting in to your everyday movements off the mat. Widening the buttocks, broad, firm, stable base, shoulders back. Tadasana in Vajrasana, interlock the fingers, turn the palms out, and lift the arms up, push the trapezius muscles down. Don't let the neck get congested. Check that you're not overarching in the lower back. So everybody has different body types and we have different tendencies. Learning to recognize your tendencies and immediately to go in and check what they're doing. And now we're going to turn and twist to the right. Parashvatasana in Vajrasana. Relax the eyeballs. Keep the body alert. And now to the left. Keep pushing up through the heels of the hands. Back to the middle. And then coming down. Feeling the difference. Okay, let's change the interlock of the fingers. Turn the palms out, thumbs touching. Inhale, lift the arms up, trapezius muscles going down the back. The sides of the neck long and free. Intentional breath, evening out the inhales and the exhales. Rising up to the light. And now turning and twisting to the right. Each exhale, carving out a little bit more twistingness. And 2. And 1. Back to the middle. And to the left. Keep stretching the arms, straightening the elbows. And back to the front. And exhale and release. Shoulder opens the other way, so we're either doing them sitting up, or if our shoulders allow, forehead to the ground, coming out from here. So either way, rolling those front shoulders back, tightening the muscles around the arm bones, and lifting the arms up higher and higher, and trying to press the shoulder blades forward as the front shoulders roll back. And now changing the interlock of the fingers. Lifting back into this. Starting from the root of the arms, the front shoulders rolling back, the shoulder blades pressing forward. Try to tighten the muscles around the arm bones. And then coming back out. If you were down, you're coming up. Immediately re-widening the sit bones. Hands on these front ribs. Lifting them up, putting them out to the side. Lengthening the abdominal cavity. Bringing space to our organs, and exhaling and forward. Rolling the right upper arm to the right so that the inner elbow faces forward. Rolling the left upper arm to the left so that the inner elbow faces forward. The shoulders are broad now. When the shoulders are broad, the neck is longer. When there's more softness in the neck and length, we have better blood flow, better oxygen, better pranic flow, all coming into the brain relaxing. The brain soft. We're not leading from the brain anymore. Another energy coming through, guiding us here. Keep walking the hands forward. Keep grounding the outer thighs down to the earth. Riding the inhales, riding the exhales. The breath like light that's illuminating the pose, the sensations, the inner topography. Straps off. And just a quick little Uttanasana. Feet the width of the mat, fingertips on the floor or chair or some blocks. Turn the toes in, heels out, drop the head down. And we want to really grip these knees in after the opening we've just given them. So looking at the knees, let's give them more depth, more richness. Pull the inner knee to the outer knee to the inner knee. Pull the front knee to the back knee to the front knee. So grip those four corners in towards each other. Push into the feet and lift the thighs up. And 3, and 2, and 1. Exhale. And coming down. And it's now time for Halasana, our core work. So you know that if you need one or like one, a blanket underneath the lower back. You can fold it up this way or take it out one, or progress down to the mat for you to judge. As long as your lower back can really press down and the abdominal muscles not protruding up. Often when we do a sit-up, look, the abdomen presses up. So in these exercises, we really want to concave, to suck the abdominal muscles down the whole time. Okay, arms up, cross the thumbs, stretch the arms. Feet together, inner knees together. Are we ready? We find our exhale to push. Inhale, exhale. Firming up where it's needed. Stretching the arms, stretching the fingers. Bending the knees and pushing diagonally away. Keep it firm. Keep extending up through the legs, through the balls of the feet. And 3, press the lower back down. And 2, and 1, bending the knees. And with an exhale going even lower if we can. Remember, really important to bolt the outer thighs together, bolt the outer hips together, press the lower back down. That's it, 2, and 1, bend the knees. Exhale, push the legs diagonally away. Suck the abdominal muscles down. And 2, and 1, bend the knees. And push the legs back up. And then releasing and feet to the floor. So 3 cycles left. Okay, on the second cycle, we're not going to bend the knees and push. We go straight up to 90. Push down to 30 to 90 and then lift up to the sky like we did last class to just start to exercise that lower abdominal area that's hard to access. So arms up, cross the thumbs, stretch the arms. Pushing. Keep pushing out the length of those legs, energy, little flames, and let's go, keeping the lower back pressed to the earth. Down through 60. And 30, and 60 and 90 and lift. And again, 60, 30, 60, 90 and lift. 2 more, 60, 30, 60, 90, lift. 1 more, 60, 30, keep your intensity, 60, 30, lift, and exhale, and release. Okay, 3rd one, let's do vertical scissoring. Arms back up. By the way, if it's hurting your shoulders, sometimes people have shoulder stuff and to bring the arms over is painful. You can either put a bolster behind and have your hands on the bolster, so it doesn't have to come all the way down. And if that's still painful, you can hold on to the outer edges of the mat with your hand. Okay? So again, choosing what's right for you. And bringing the legs back up. Lowering the left leg. Okay, here we go. Cutting at 60. And 2. And 3. 4. Push through the feet. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. Back up. Lowering the right leg down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Lower back to the floor. 8 and 9 and 10. Back up. And exhale and release them. Okay, last and final cycle. We're going to go back to 90, keeping the legs straight, 60, 30, 60, 90, lift. And we're just going to do it with the hands holding the mat this time, for those of you who would like to experience that. It does bring a little bit more stability and ability to push into the lower back. So if you're getting tired, it's nice to do. Okay, here we go. Push the legs up to 90. Press the lower back to the ground. Push up through those legs. And let's begin. Through 60. 30, keep pressing the lower back down, 60, 90, and lift. And again, 60, 30, 60, 90, and lift. 60, 30, 60, 90, and lift. 1 more, 60, 30, 60, 90, and lift. Yes, Dviparat Supta Bhavana Uttanasana. If you have a blanket, move it from underneath your hips now. Come back into a long, purposefully drawn out inhalation. Just reclaim that. Match it with the exhale. Relax the face, the jaw, relax the abdomen. And then Supta Tadasana. Buttocks moving towards the heels. Press those heels down. Long vertical stretch without arching the lower back. Filling the body with the breath. Imagining that prana traveling everywhere, going through nadis that have been blocked maybe for years, and just clearing them. And then releasing. And changing the cross of the thumbs. And re-stretching, rolling the legs back in, heels firm. Heels pulling the buttocks down. Stretch the arms without arching the lower back. And each inhale, really bring it in, fill the inner body with that breath, with that prana. Visualize the nadis like little rivers that are just being cleared of old wood, and the water is flowing again, the prana is flowing again. And releasing. Supta Tadasana, roll the thighs in, heels pressing down. Ekapada Supta Bhavana Uttanasana. Roll the shoulders back. Carefully noting not just where the body is being held, aligned, but also where are the areas of tension that we can release with the exhale that don't need to be tense in the pose? Where do we carry our tension? And then changing sides, but coming first through Supta Tadasana. And left leg, Ekapada, Supta Tadasana. Relaxing the shoulders, the neck, the throat, keeping that right leg gripped. And then bending that other leg and ending with Dvipada. Realigning the inner feet, the inner knees, releasing both shoulders, softening the jaws, the eyeballs, the temples, and the entire abdominal cavity, melting, receding. And then letting go. Okay, rolling over, coming up. And it is now time for our Sarvangasana shoulder stand. So hopefully you've been getting a lot more comfortable with that. Let's get the blankets set up. One of the royal poses of yoga, and inversions often get ignored by people for a long time, and they become really great intermediate practitioners, but the Sarvangasana and Shirshasana headstand, what comes later, haven't been practiced enough. And they're really important. They reverse the blood flow. They bring life force, oxygen, blood to the brain, to the lungs, to the heart, and they open up this very hard area to open, the upper back, the shoulder blades, and the resistance of the diaphragm, getting into the lungs in a different way. So keep on going with these. All right, so if you recall, sometimes it's hard to bring the feet over, so you may wish to have some blankets or a bolster here. And if it's hard to get your feet to the floor behind you, you may want to have a bolster or some blankets here, so your feet could land on them, raising the floor to you. Either way, do what's right for you now. Practice, 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 and then gently reduce until your feet are coming to the floor or until you're able to roll yourself up easily. So we're coming in, finding that nice sweet spot from the edge of the blankets, adjusting our skull, our neck, and when we're ready, lifting up, bending the knees, putting our hands on the back, breathing. Now we want to lift each shoulder up and roll it back, so it looks like this. See, I'm rolling the front of the shoulder back, and my elbow is going to come in a little bit closer. And then we can feel up, and then the left side. That's it, we start to feel the shoulder blades being asked to penetrate more. And we can see if our hands can come down our back a little bit. Make sure to give weight to the upper arms, to the elbows, not to the back of the skull. Okay, now we're going to move the kneecaps up towards the sky. Keeping the legs bent, moving the kneecaps up towards the sky, trying to get our hands higher and higher up the back. Trying to move the buttocks forward, the front thighs back. And then bringing the knees back down and unrolling with control. Breathing. Relax the neck, the throat, the face. Okay, going up for our second one. Here we go. Rolling those shoulders back. We're trying to get the elbows closer together. Seeing if we could move our kneecaps up to the sky, and as we do that, bringing our hands higher and higher up the back. Now press the buttocks forward and push your front thighs back. Keep pressing the elbows down, keep pressing the arms down. Relax the face, the throat. Breathe into this new shape. Full inhales, full exhales as best as we can do. And then legs coming back down towards us and unrolling back to the ground. Taking a moment to radiate softness out in all directions so that we let go of any tensions, that we come back to neutrality for our third one. And in our third one, we're going to do what we just did with the knees when we move the kneecaps up to the sky. We move the hands down the back, and then we're going to straighten the legs and find full Sarvangasana today. And as you practice, you're just going to increase the length of time that you stay in there. Then we'll bring the feet to the floor behind us in Halasana. Okay, here we go, rolling up. Try to roll the shoulders back, to get the shoulder blades to press in, to get the elbows closer together. And now, keeping the feet aligned, start to move the legs so the kneecaps go into the sky. The buttocks are pressing forward, the front thighs are pressing back, and the hands are climbing up. And then from there, straightening the legs, spreading all 10 toes, charging the legs, pushing up to the ceiling as we press the upper arms and the elbows down. Full Sarvangasana 1 here. Keep lifting up, don't let the skull take the pressure. Be in the shoulders, from the shoulders to the elbows, the upper arms pressing down, the hands pressing the back body up. That's it, and 3, and 2, and 1. Then bending to come out of it, kneecaps to the sky, middle buttocks forward, front thighs back, and then bringing the knees down, and then straightening the legs so the feet are coming towards the floor behind us. Widen the feet apart just a little bit, hip distance. Now we're going to bring the arms behind us, interlocking the fingers and stretching the arms straight. Don't worry if your knees are bent, it's okay. Don't worry if your feet are on blocks or anything, that's okay. Taking time here. Now we have to open those shoulders, okay? So we're going to roll onto the left arm a bit, lift that right shoulder up, and roll the front shoulder back. There we go. Now we do the same on the other side. Now try to press the arms down to the blankets and try to press your front thighs up to the sky. Observing the breath. Lengthening the inhale, lengthening the exhale. And letting this new external configuration of the body shape this new breath awareness inside the body. Changing the interlock of the fingers behind our backs. And taking the time to re-roll each shoulder. So we have to roll to the left and roll the front of that right shoulder back. And then come onto the right arm, lift the left shoulder up and roll the front of the left shoulder back. See if your front thighs could think of pushing up to the thigh bones, the arms pressing down. Full deep inhalations and exhalations. And then releasing the hands, bending the knees even more, And slowly, gently coming out with control, putting our hands back behind us onto the floor to help us roll out slowly. And immediately coming back. Inner knees resting against each other. Shoulders rolling back, and use your fingertips to push the trapezius muscles down. So we're resting with nice, long, even sides of the neck. Relax your face from all of the effort, your jaw, temples, forehead. And then moving back even more until our lower backs are on the floor. Uttanasana, supine twist, so stretch the hands out in line with the shoulders. Bring the legs up, let's come straight to number 2. Calves to the backs of the thighs, inhale. Exhale, knees to the elbow, inhale. Exhale, turning and twisting away from that, following the energy of the left arm. Head turning, neck turning. With each exhale, turning more. And bring the legs back up. Finding our middle neutral ground. Inhale, calves to the backs of the thighs. And exhale, knees to the left elbow. Turning and twisting to the right. Following the length of that right arm. And then legs back up and feet down. Almost done. One last little part. So we're just going to remove these blankets. There we go. And lie right back down. Take a strap. And we're going to end with a variation of Supta Paramishtasana, which we've done before. I can't remember which class, but tying in at the end is just lovely. So loop on the right foot, slide the hands down the strap. We're keeping this leg bent in this variation right now, so that when we bring the leg towards us, we can let the lower back come off the ground, just giving us a little more access into this action. Count the length of the inhale and count the length of the exhale. We want to end in real parasympathetic evenness. The nerves feeling even and stable through the evenness of the breath. And then changing sides. Supta Paramishtasana, one variation with the other leg bent, and as we draw this leg towards us, we allow the lower back to lift up just a little bit so we can get this leg closer. And count the length of the inhale, count the length of the exhale, being in evenness. Gently coming out of that, rolling it down. And the moment we have probably been waiting for a few minutes now, Viparita Karani, our final surrender and opening to all that is blissful and peaceful and healing. So let's take what we need. I like 2 blankets, one under the hips and one to cover my eyes and my ears. There we go. Keeping this top one here, just waiting for me, like that. How often do we get to really surrender in a day? How often do we even allow ourselves to do that? This is the place. And there's so much beauty in the journey of surrendering. So making sure first to set our legs, roll them open, relax the feet, relax the organs. I'm now going to take my little blanket here and just bring it so that it's gently covering the eyes and it's also muffling sounds so that our senses are less drawn out and the light of awareness is shining inwards and our senses are making that space sensitive, alive, magical, so that we're really resting in all of that. Front shoulders back, evening out the sides of the neck. And when we feel ready, exhale, inhale, and exhale, sliding into Viparita Karani. And ending with our loving kindness meditation. Loka samastaha sukhinho bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the universe know love, may the universe know peace. And may we help all those that we come into contact with to feel the same. peace, peace, peace. And then gently just having our knees bend, our feet slide down the wall. We want to move ourselves back a little bit, just so that our lower backs can be connected to the earth for a few seconds. Grounding. And then rolling over. Re-emerging with tenderness, with care. And coming back to our mats. Hand on heart. And just flooding the system with gratefulness. And then releasing the hands. Our practice is complete. Congratulations, really and truly. You've made it through the course. You've got a nice, beautiful, firm base of practice in which to flourish. So keep it up. Don't think that because it's the last class of this course, you just leave it. I want you to practice this for a good few weeks. You know, you can practice it 8 to 10 times. You want to be feeling like, oh, I'm bored, and then new revelations will come. That's how depth happens, right? And in the meantime, I'm going to be working on the next module, Module B, and hopefully I'll see you on board for that. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to share this sequencing, this knowledge, this time together. I love the connections that have happened, the messages. Feels like community is expanding, and that's a very heart-enhancing experience. Namaste. Be well, take care, and see you again soon.